I'm Nicole, and this is week 2 of Solo Jazz at the 920 special for November 2016. Today was all about you and your choices. Basically, we talked about the 3 T's of a move of your choice. So this was like transition, timing, and technique. And the move that you picked was Suzy Q's, which is an excellent choice, might I add. So we started from square one. The idea is front foot across, open, cross, open, across, open. But we start this with a kick on 8. 8, cross, open, cross, open, cross, open. We also talked about how there's this in-out to your feet while you do this. So kick, everything turns in, everything turns out. In, out, in, out. We also talked about how this, really high up, is not very impressive, but this, getting really low, is a lot more dynamic. Someone had an excellent question in class. How do you feel about the toe up in front? We talked about how this is actually a tap step. Boom, ba-da, boom, ba-da, boom, ba-da. But when you do it in jazz, don't pick the front toe up. You can pick your back heel up, but don't pick your front toe up. So cross, open, cross, open. See, my back heel is up so that my weight is like down into my front foot. You can have your weight back as long as you don't let this happen. We also talked a little bit about how if you have to pick a foot to focus on, pick the front foot, because if I don't move my back foot, it still looks almost the same. Almost no one sees your back foot. So if you pick one, stick with your front one. We talked about some arm options. We noticed that like floaty things don't really work so well as a contrast to the dynamic of this like really steady beat. So some options are the classic 8, cross, open. Another option is keeping it just in front of you. Another option, which is one of my favorites, is keeping it behind you so that people have no option other than to look at your very fancy legs. Other options were like arms coming around. Someone had the very sneaky idea of doing disco arms, which I thought was pretty fun. We talked about transitions into and out of it. So a transition that is very easy, because it sets you up very well, would be fall off a log. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This flows very easily. One that's a bit harder, works timing-wise, but makes you change your footwork, is squat Charleston. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, instead of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The meter of it works, but you have to change your footwork to make it work. When you have to change your footwork and also get onto the other foot was if you're doing basic Charleston. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. Uh-oh, I wanted to go this way. 8, 1. Or if you are fine with going the other way, it's possibly even harder. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, shoot! So that's like a triple kick, which I might not recommend. I would probably go the other way. And transitions out, similarly, you either like cut off the end of your Suzy Q or let it line up. So in the case of squat Charleston, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you cut off the end of your Suzy Q to make the beginning of your next move work. So I would always suggest ending your last thing a little early to prep for your next thing, rather than cutting off the beginning of a thing that you're doing, because that makes the move a bit harder. That was what we covered today. Thank you all so much for coming. See you next week.